Hi, I'm Jenna and I make bath and body products from my dedicated studio here in Hertfordshire, UK. I've been running small businesses for over 20 years and I share my day-to-day product making, running my business, and I also help others launch their own unique products too. If that's your thing, stick around, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe and turn on all notifications so you catch my latest episodes. If you want all my formulations, exclusive content and to chat with me, head on over to Patreon, link in the description below. On my website Reviga you'll find my own range of cosmetic bath and body products along with digital products and workshops to help you with your own business. I also offer some services too. And with that, let's get on with today's video. I'm a bit late filming an intro for a vlog, but I've had stuff to do. So I've had a bit of a tiring week because I've been getting over feeling a bit rubbish last week, but I have got a lot of stuff done. So in this vlog we are going to shrink wrap some of the products that I've made. We're going to get the labels done, we're going to get some photography done and show you how I make sure the photos are as good as they can be for the website at this moment in time. And then at the end of the vlog I've got something for Halloween that some of you may like and others may just be like, what? But it's a bit of fun and I enjoyed it, so we'll get to that later. So now let's just insert the footage of me shrink wrapping the things I did last week, and then I'll go through all of my labelling stuff with you. So for my product packaging, obviously you've seen the scrub packaging, you've seen the soap packaging. For bath bombs and bubble bars, yes, I am using shrink wrap again. The reason for that is one, it's Biolefen from the National Shrink Wrap Company along with their system, and that is biodegradable, actually biodegradable. And also it is just better if you're selling things long distance, especially like bath bombs and things that can crumble. I'm not going to say that they won't still crumble in the post, that is still possible, but it shouldn't if they're hard enough. But what it will do is just lengthen the shelf life of them, because if you leave them out, the scent is going to fade over time. They may get affected by light, they may crumble, etc. But they're just a bit more protected for transit and just generally for keeping them fresher for longer, which is why I do that for the bath bombs and the bubble bars. I'll probably do that for shampoo bars and conditioner bars as well when I start doing those. For soaps, I am going to change the packaging when I make some new batches. For now, I'll keep them in the packaging that they're in, but that will change. Also, the labelling I'll go through shortly, but I'll just show you the shrink wrap system. Here we have the Biolefen shrink wrap, and we have the cutter tool thing. This heats and cuts things with that, with that bit there. And then because I'm in the UK, I got a different heat sealer tool. I just got this on off Amazon. You can get the one that comes with the shrink wrap kit, but honestly it's easier to get one in the UK because we're a different voltage, and you don't want to be plugging in the wrong voltage because that is not good, because we have higher voltage here in the UK than they do in Canada. So if you plug their stuff in, that can lead to bad things. Don't do that. So here's me shrink wrapping. One thing that gets to me about this system is that because there's an end there and an end here, and that bit's blocked and that bit isn't, you have to put it on your right hand side, and for some reason I just prefer everything to be on the left, and so I'd prefer to be pulling it from the left and then this be on the left and everything. So it's completely the wrong way round for what feels natural to me. I don't know if anyone else finds that with this, but you can't turn it round because of how that is, because this end at the top is sealed. So if I put it the other way around, I'd be having to reach over to put things in that way, which wouldn't make much sense. But yeah, I still love it though, and it's a really, really, really brilliant system, and I like the fact that this is biodegradable, because I haven't yet found an alternative in the UK, unfortunately, which is a shame because I am bugging companies about it, but it is what it is. If you are interested in the National Shrink Wrap system, then I do have a discount code that will be linked below. So as for the labelling, as you know, I have sort of all my labels that I use for sort of the body scrubs and things, and these are printed elsewhere. Obviously I can't print like this. I searched a long time to find a company that did them in the quality that I wanted for the price I needed. So I'm afraid I'm not giving that away. Some business secrets need to remain secret. There are plenty of people that do that kind of thing, but obviously don't copy me, because then none of us are unique. But if you do want any kind of foiling and things like that, there are other companies that do it. You need to do your own research to find what you like for your company. So that's what I have for most of my products. However, when you've got something like a bath bomb, when it's quite a low cost item, so you don't want to be spending out on fancy labels for your low cost item, because you're just eating into your profit margin and making your costs higher. So what I do instead is I've got some just craft card, because my branding is black and gold, so sort of craft paper sort of fits with the gold, sort of. And I'll print on this and then just do some bands, and then those end up looking, when they're stuck properly, a bit like that. And so it's just the information that you need to have on a nice recyclable band. It's cheap, it's easy to print yourself, and it gives the customer all the information. So that's what I'm doing with those. Then we have the bubble bars, and what I did was get some sheets of basically craft labels from Avery Print, and then you can print them yourself. So I use Canva to design the label and put all the information, and then I will go to Avery and buy the label sheets, and then use their design and print tool to just insert my image and then print with my laser printer, selecting the option in advance for labels, because then you get a better quality print. And then these just go on the bottom of the bubble bars. And that's pretty much all I need to do for those. I don't need any branding and things. I do actually have, because I didn't really think about it when I ordered them, but I did actually order some bubble bar labels at the time. But of course, because I did bubble scoops in the end, they don't sort of go on the top nicely, and I need room for a reverse label on the reverse. So I haven't used those, and those will probably be used for when I do like the roll type bubble bars in the future. So I'll keep those for now. And that's pretty much how I do my labels. So yeah, if you want information on printers, then I have this printer. Now this is a Brother laser printer. And I think I've mentioned this in another video, but if you're doing labels, you want to not use the paper tray. So you don't use this tray, you use this. And you put the paper straight in there, and then you open the reverse of it and the paper comes straight out there, and that way it's going straight through the printer and not rolling out the top, and that way you can get a nice print on your label paper. This particular printer is that one, and I think I got this from Viking, but it's a really good printer. It's a colour laser, and laser printer won't fade. You can use a thermal printer if you want. I know Munbin do some really nice labels and things. Trouble is they can react to heat over time, and then the information will sort of disappear. So they're sort of a temporary solution. They're great for postage labels. They're great for little sort of thank you labels on boxes and stuff. But for actual product labels, I'd always have a laser printer. I have some bath bomb sort of dust, rubble, rocks, whatever, and I have some little cauldrons because I thought Halloween's coming up. I've not got much Halloween stuff, so I'll just do some little fizz cauldrons because they're quite fun. So for photography, I am doing it a bit different this time because I'm very short on time, and I'll explain what I'm doing a bit later. But this is my setup, and I'm just taking them with my phone at the moment, and then I'll show you what I do to make them look better. Right, so I've taken the photos and I have them on my phone, And then what I'm going to do is this. We're going to go to ChatGPT and we are going to add files and photos, find photo library, take one of the photos, add, and then ask it. We're going to ask it to make the photo more professional, add some things around it because I want to kind of relay what fragrance it is, and to keep all the details because you don't want it to interpret everything. You want to keep the details in the photo and then just let it do its thing. I am not really an AI advocate, so it is useful for some things, for other things not so much. I don't want to be altering photos so that they don't look like photos because the customer needs to know what they're ordering. So all I'm doing is basically having it retouch what I've already made, and just to a degree where it looks a little bit more professional. Then I'm going to have other images and videos also on the product page so the customer can clearly see the product as it actually is in the videos and everything, and it just makes it look a little bit smarter so it looks more like a professional took the photo. Something that I'm going to be doing myself in future when I've got more time rather than this, but for now this is quite a good option for retouching your photos. So here's the resulting image, and you can see I've got some coconut here and some vanilla pods, and it sort of just enhanced the image and made it look quite enticing. And then this is another retouched image. I did use AI for this one as well, and it looks a little bit more realistic. And then I also have a video so people can clearly see the texture. And the reason I'm doing the AI retouch rather than retouching myself is A, to save time, and 2, I just want the first photo that people to see to illustrate the scent, because people buy with their noses quite a lot, and if they can't see or smell something, they need to be able to envisage that, which is why I just wanted these props around it. And then I use sort of more realistic photos as well. So it's really just to illustrate the scent, and then the rest of the photos will be fairly normal. So just to be completely transparent, I'm not doing photographers out of any jobs here because I'd be doing the photography myself and I'm just saving myself some time. So as and when I take better photos, I'll just replace the AI ones, and simple as that. So I think I'm going to end out the vlog, but first I just want to share something with you for Halloween. Right, so as I promised, for Halloween I decided to make some little videos. If you are of a certain age, specifically if you were around in the 70s, 80s, perhaps early 90s, you will remember that PIF didn't just stand for Product Information File, it also stood for Public Information Films. Particularly the 70s and the 80s ones were really traumatic. They were quite scary, and I mean, they were intended to scare you into not doing something. They're basically, if you're not familiar with them, little adverts that show you the danger of something or are telling kids not to do something. But they made them in such a way that they traumatized you into not doing the thing. And it sort of comes under the category of hauntology, if you're familiar with that. And I love them. And you can Google them. I was going to insert some footage, but you know, copyright stuff. So if you search on Google for 70s, 80s UK public information films, you will get a goldmine of them. But I thought for Halloween, because there are some dangers in cosmetic and soap making and things like that, I would make some of my own. So I have made some public information films with the help of AI because my acting is not up to par and I didn't have time to get people to help me. So they are AI created, but they're edited and voiced over by me in my best old English voice. I hope you enjoy them. It's just a bit of fun for Halloween, but here you go.
This woman is trying to make soap on her own. Her husband's at work. She's completely unsupervised. She's not wearing protection. Her eyes and skin are exposed. That table will never hold its weight. look at this woman, all happy and enjoying a day in the sun with her friends. A lovely sunny day. Don't forget your sunscreen. Wait, what's this? You made your own? You won't be laughing later. Sulfates, parabens, fragrance. Remember what the internet people said. Looks like you aren't going to be buying any hygiene products today. What's this? You made some lovely cupcake-themed bath bombs. Your children think they look and smell good enough to eat. These people are picking plants to use in their products. This man is trying to harvest honey to use in his soap recipe. They've been told by the internet that natural is safer.